Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with Firefly Gaming, that's me. Today we're going to be doing a special Ultimate Admirals Dreadnought video. Today we are going to be recreating the Battle of Tsushima. Now the Battle of Tsushima occurred during the Russo-Japanese War, and it pretty much established the Empire of Japan as being able to not only defeat, but soundly defeat a European power. Now, so far in the Russo-Japanese War, they had been slogging it out on the ground, and the Japanese fleet had pretty much been able to keep the Russian Pacific Fleet in the harbor of Port Arthur. And it had been going in the way of the Japanese, although not without massive Japanese casualties. However, in the Battle of Tsushima, it was the Russian Second Pacific Fleet which had not flown, but sailed all the way around the world, pretty much. They had traveled over 18,000 nautical miles in order to reach the Pacific. Now, this happened in 1905, in late May. However, most of the Russian ships launched at the time were actually from the 1890s, like 1891, 1892, 1893, and a lot of them were actually pretty bad. The Russians kind of just well, they pretty much took whatever they could find and strapped whatever they could find to them, leading to an absolutely insane amalgamation of what they had. Now, the Japanese had pretty much modern battleships for the time and ships in general. They even had telegraph wiring, and that was pretty new at the time, whereas the Russians were relying upon Cephomore flags still. The Russians were under command of Zinovy Rozhestvensky, which I believe he died in the battle. I don't remember. And the Japanese were under command of Togo Heihachiro, which, again, I'm probably butchering these names, so please, please give me some slack here. But we're going to try and recreate it as faithfully as we can, and we're going to be creating the Japanese battleships and playing as Japan. Now, the Japanese deployed 5 battleships, the Russians deployed 8, the Japanese deployed 23 cruisers. That's a lot of cruisers. The Russians deployed 3 coastal battleships, which meant they were really close, so I'm giving them 3 of the heavy cruisers. They deployed 8 regular cruisers, and they deployed 9 destroyers, but those aren't modeled in the game, so we're going to give them 9 torpedo boats. So the Empire of Japan had 23 cruisers, 20 destroyers, and 16 torpedo boats. Yeah, that's a lot. So we're going to try and even it up a little bit just to give the odds better. So they had 23 cruisers. So I'm going to give us like 8 of each, which means 16. And then I'm going to give us 15 torpedo boats. Maybe 10 each, just because they have an advantage in battleships. So that seems about even-ish. Now, this ended in a complete humiliation of the Russian fleet. So many battleships, I think 7 battleships were sunk, and pretty much the rest of the fleet was either sunk, captured, or disarmed. And the Japanese pretty much lost 3 torpedo boats, and that was it. It completely humiliated the Russians. It was a big part of why the Russian Civil War actually began. This Second Pacific Fleet, when it returned to the eastern bit of Russia near Moscow, that place, it was at the time St. Petersburg, and they actually became a large force in the not liking the Tsar party because these sailors had gone through so much and were so resoundly defeated. It was pretty bad. So let's go ahead and design the ships. Too many ships. This may affect performance. Yeah, I know. If this is a little laggy, please do cut me a little bit of slack. So again, we're going to be doing the battleships. Now, we're going to go with the bigger of the 2. And the Japanese ships were not the fastest, but then nothing really was. The range doesn't matter. We will go for maximum bulkheads. So the thing is that a lot of warfare relied upon casemates at that point, and I'm going to do my best to historically and faithfully recreate what I can. So this is the Empire of Japan. So we're gonna go with that. Okay. Induced auxiliary one. Let's see here. Engine efficiency. Okay, that's 100%. There we go. And let's give a little bit of redundancy by having an extra funnel in there in case one gets taken out. Okay, equipped armor. Bats, torpedo protection, double hull, reinforced, anti-flood. Now, the reason why I'm going for so much of this extra stuff is because at the time, these Japanese battleships were pretty much brand new. And yeah, now historically, they actually used cordite. But I'm going to give them white powder just because it's relatively similar to cordite in game, I guess. I don't know. We are going to go with some heavy shells. And we're going to go with whatever we can that's slightly advanced. Now again, these rangefinders, they actually had decent ones. As well as we're going to go with radio technology. Now as for armor, let's see here. What did they have? I'm trying to see what what they had there. Going on. Armored cruisers. Torpedo boats. Ah, there we are. Okay. So a lot of these I'm seeing have 10, like 9 to 10 inches. Some of the battleships actually had 16 inches of armor at the waterline, which is cool. Okay. They had 4 12-inch guns and 14 6-inch guns. Okay, all right, and this was the Mikasa, the battleship flagship. So let's try and, as best we can, recreate it. And that was actually laid down in 1900, so I might have gone a little bit overboard here. So we have the armor. Now it had 12 inches of belt armor. Now it actually had 14 inches of turret armor, which I find impressive for a ship of that time. Unfortunately, it doesn't give me much otherwise, so I'm gonna go as best I can here. You know, there's only so much that I can do historically, accuracy-wise, without going crazy into the realm of I'm gonna get destroyed. So I'm gonna try my best, but no guarantees. So it had 12-inch guns and 6-inch guns. Well, let's see what we can do. So it had 12-inch guns. Alright, it had 4 of them. So that probably means 2 barrels each. And we're overweight. We're slowing down to 18 knots. Oh boy. And it had what for 6-inch secondary guns? Where do these guys come in? Oh, that's strange. Alright. 6-inch guns. It had 14? Oh man. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. So that's 12 6-inch guns, and we're overweight again. Oh boy. Alright, what if we go 11.5 on belt? And 7.5 on belt extended. I don't really want to give up this kind of stuff. Ugh. 17 knots? We're gonna be so slow. Oh man. Alright. What if we did that? No? How about some of these smaller ones? Am I allowed to do 2-inch guns? Oh man. Alright. Casemates. 3-inch barrels. Pretty much these casemates are just here to help me deal with enemy destroyers. And oh dang, these are 57 tons. Oh, we're just over. What can I do? Oh boy. I can do that. So we do have some torpedoes. I don't know if they were actually used on battleships, but I know that torpedoes were a thing that the Japanese did like to use just in general. So there we go. We're going to go up here. We're going to name this the Mikasa after the flagship of the Japanese fleet. And Great Britain actually built these ships, interestingly enough. So, yep. All right, let's go for it. So as it happened historically, the big guns, 9-inch and higher, cause tremendous damage according to their caliber. So it's usually a good practice to maximize the caliber of the ship's main guns. Alright. That's a VW. That's a big old cannon there. 16? I can't tell what it is. Alright. 5 battleships versus 8. 8 heavy cruisers versus 3. 10 versus 8. 15 versus 9. So they have us outnumbered, and it looks like they might have us outgunned in the battleship department. But it looks like we have them outnumbered and outgunned in terms of the smaller ships. So first, let's stop. Let's stop and let's figure this out. So the enemy is over there to our left, and we have a pretty big fleet here. Now, this was actually what they did. They did go in big straight lines. So we have our battleships. There's the Mikasa right there in the center of the formation. That's our flagship. We are led by the Zuiho, the Unryu. We have the Mikasa, we have the Mikaho, and we have the Ki. Again, pronunciation is not my strong point. So we're going to give them the go ahead to just straight on ahead. And that's okay. Now we have a group of 3 cruisers. Now what did the AI give us? We have the Naishi, the Yumayori, and the Kasuga. They have 11-inch guns, forward and back. They have 5-inch, 2-inch, and 2-inch. So they have a bunch of casemates and no torpedoes. Okay, so again, these are going to be more gunboat kind of things, and again, they're going to be heading forwards. Now, these guys are only able to go 16 knots, so I'm going to bring these guys down to 18, which is their cruise speed, to try and keep our battle group together. Now we have some more of these cruisers, and we're going to do the same thing. 18. Now we have the Tekari, the Goryu, the Tengu, and the Korobiguro. And then, of course, we have one cruiser, which is just ahead of everybody else. Now, I'm actually going to try and get him to turn and get over towards this other cruiser group. Now, we have our CLs, which have managed to place themselves on the other side of the battleships. Perfect. And they're actually slower than our heavy cruisers, which is hilarious. So we have 3, 3, and 4. Okay, that's not bad. I'm gonna try and actually combine these. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no, stop, Tsushima. No. There we go. Alright. 2 CLs. Attach that guy. And attach this guy and this guy. Alright, this is annoying. 1 CL. So attach that guy. And then attach that guy. There we go. Why? I want to attach them, not detach them. Alright, whatever. Alright, so this... The CLs, honestly, I'm just going to give over to the AI, because I'm not going to be able to do much with them. I'm not too worried about them. I'm going to keep control of the heavy cruisers and the battleships. Although this heavy cruiser, don't care. Now the torpedo boats. They have a 5.1 inch range. Everybody has a 5.1 inch range. So again, I think I'm just going to give control of these guys over to the AI, so that way they can do their own thing. Now, it's unfortunate that a lot of our guys are over here on the left-hand side, or sorry, the right-hand side, the starboard side of our battleships, but hey-ho. So we are going to control the 2 groups of heavy cruisers and the battleships. And these are going to be our guys to control. And the AI is going to take care of everything else. So just a little bit more about the Battle of Tsushima. The Mikasa, it took over 30 large caliber hits. The ventilators, the funnels were holed, the armor penetrated in several places, and over 100 casualties out of its 875 men. Wow. Okay. Now, 2 torpedo boats were sunk. So, yeah. There's that. So it looks like the torpedo boats are heading towards the enemy, which is pretty fair considering they only have 4-inch guns and a bunch of torpedoes. The Yakumo, the lone heavy cruiser, is about to get hit hard, and it looks like they too have 12-inch guns, which is pretty fair. Yeah, their battleships had 12-inch guns. It was actually pretty even armament. It's just the training of the battleships, the training of the crews on the Russian side were pretty bad. Let's see here. The first modern battleship sunk by modern gunfire alone was the Ozlobia. She was the flagship for the fleet's second in command. Wow, okay. The flagship Knyaz Suvorov, which had 4 12-inch guns, was gunned into a wreck. Destroyers were ordered to administer the coup de grace. While she had a gun above the water, she fired. Of her 40 officers and 888 men, there were no survivors, except for the Admiral of the fleet, of course. He escaped. Oh, wow. Okay. Alright, well, let's see here. We have our whole fleet pretty much doing some crazy stuff. I'm not worried about them. I am just worried about our battleships and their ability to do things. So we have the advantage in our small ships, but we do not have the advantage in any means by battleships. Now this, I think, might be the battleship. Maybe, who knows? That certainly is a big ship. It looks like it's being flooded quite easily, which is fair. A lot of these ships were just battered down by the amount of gunfire because the Japanese were just so much more accurate. Because, hey, they actually trained their crew The Russians did not. In fact, half the time they did not have enough ammunition to properly train their crew along the way. Most of the sailors who set out with the Second Pacific Fleet out of St. Petersburg, they didn't know what they were doing. And they actually wasted a lot of their ammunition in attacking innocent merchant vessels on the way to the Pacific, that they barely had any by the time that they got to the Battle of Tsushima. Now, the Yakumo is not having a very good day. You see here, he's fighting back. He does have 11-inch guns, which is pretty impressive, honestly. That's more than what most battleships at the time would have, but, you know. They didn't technically have any cruisers, the Russians, so he gave them that in the form of heavy cruisers, which are replacing their coastal battleships, which by that, they really mean useless ad hoc battleships. Now, we have our second cruiser group. I want them to continue going straight. I don't want them to get close if they can, but I feel like they are. Now, our armored core here of our 5 battleships is... I'm hoping is doing some work. 11, 110, 0, 1, 0. Ooh boy, that's not good. What's doing our work then? What's doing the work? Ooh! The Yakumo is doing work. That's probably because he's a little bit closer so he can actually hit things. He's done 753 damage. Nice. I think he's the sole contributor to this so far. Let's see. Hull stability and tower. Oh man. Let's zoom in on our flagship, the Mikasa. There she is in all of her glory. Giving a full broadside there. That's nice. That's very nice. We do like to see her. You can see here that they do have a little bit of extra ridge. I think that might be early bits of a torpedo bulge. Okay. Alright, let's go check out the Russian fleet. Just look at the volume of fire. This feels like Jutland all over again. We're definitely going to do a Battle of Jutland. So it looks like we have the battleship Azov, which they have 12-inch guns as well. 5-inch guns, 3-inch guns. So these are their battleships. They have 11 inches of armor at their height, which is actually their belts, conning, and turret armor. So we have them beat on the belt. No, we have them equal at the belt, but we have them bettered elsewhere, like on our turrets, which is important because the less turrets you have, the less likely you are to hit something. The torpedo boat primarily sinks due to structural damage. Yeah, we expected that. Now, because our torpedoes are so close range, I don't expect a lot to happen with that. I mean, obviously, we have our torpedo boats, which are very numerous, and they're far away, so I don't really expect them to get away that many. We do have a much better range than them. They have less than a click. Ours have 5 clicks. So there's that going for us, you know. We got that going for us. Alright. So here's our first cruiser group rolling up the street in their 6.4s. They are definitely... I'm actually going to set these guys to cruise speed. 14 knots. Not very fast. But it will allow them to get up better shots, which is what we need. The torpedo boat Samopal is not having a good day. Looks like we have sent some torpedoes here and there. We're about to lose the torpedo boat Ataka, I think. The torpedo boat Usuri is also having a bad day. These cruisers, my heavy cruisers, are having a ball just shooting at the Usuri, which is fair. I think a majority of my fleet is targeting that ship. Yep, everybody's targeting it. Hopefully we're getting some torpedoes away. I don't expect them to do a whole lot. Let's actually check what, like, the Ataka has. 18 inches. What would we put on ours? We put 17 inch, so, It is 5 kilometers, though. Why? Okay, we're pretty much running into the torpedo boats at this point, which is fine. Alright. The Usuri is down. Where are we focusing our fire next? Yeah, on the battleship Azov. So these guys are actually up to 20% accuracy, which is impressive. These guys are at 0.5 and 1 and 0.2. The problem is they're actually much more armored than a lot of their smaller counterparts. Like, their light cruisers, nothing. Oh wow, we still haven't identified that. I think we sunk a majority of their torpedo boats that we can see. Which is fair. There's definitely some battleships here, the Rostislav, the Volya. We can tell that there's more over here because we can see the shell fire coming from there. There's the Azov. Taking some fire. There's the Kuban, the Admiral Spiridov, the Kapitan Sakin, something we haven't identified. So let's go ahead and speed this up some. We're pretty much giving a full broadside with our heavy cruisers. And that's at least taking the pressure off of our battleships. I want to turn those guys in a little bit more. And we're going to turn in the heavy cruisers back here a little more. The torpedo boat Borgo is sunk due to heavy flooding. Oh, that was over here. Interesting. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these guys in a little bit. And we're going to keep the whole fleet kind of moving at this clip. The battleships... I want the information, please. Please? Info? Hello? I'm not seeing the information up there at the top. Can we actually penetrate the battleships? 63% chance. Okay, yeah, we're good. Oh, there goes the torpedo boat, which we haven't identified. There's the Kapitan Sakin. Look at our cruisers go. Now they are starting to take a little bit of damage, which is okay. I mean, it's to be expected. I want my rear heavy cruiser group to pick up the pace, and I want them to turn in a lot more. And I want my battleships to turn in slightly. How's our boy the Mikasa going? 504 damage. Whoa! The Zuiho has done a lot of damage. 2.3k. We've done 15k total, taken 2.3k. As far as I know, we have not taken any sinkings yet. However, the Koro Vigoro is looking like it's not going to go so well. I don't know what quite hurt it that much, but hey, another torpedo boat down. We're starting to see our torpedo divisions diving into the rear of the enemy formation. And if we can do a bunch of drive-bys with that, that would be so cool. We're actually going to take the AI off of control of that, and we're going to take control. Because I want to dictate where they go. And I want them to just go straight down the middle of this formation. And drop off their torpedoes as they go. Yep. So yeah, These torpedo boats are going to be sacrificial lambs, but they're just going to drive straight down the middle, dropping off torpedoes. Oh! The battleship Apostol Pavel barely missed getting torpedoed, which is okay. The Okinawa here, going crazy. He's going in for sure. Let's slow these guys back down to cruising speed. How are the battleships doing? Pretty good. The Okinawa sinks. I think that's our first ever loss in this battle so far. Which I would count that as pretty good. We're going to go ahead and train these guys. Who are these guys? Yeah, okay. We're going to turn these guys back over to the AI just because they've kind of got in there already. But let's get the Tsubame, the Shimushu, and the Otori in there. There's the Gromo boy sinking. The Kniaz, Potemkin, Tavrish, yes, he is sinking as well. These two battleships are begging for some torpedoes. No, I want you to go that way, buddy. I guess he's going for the ram on the Apostol Pavel. I'm gonna go ahead and turn those over to the AI again. Just because, hey, why not? Oh, the Tsubame got way too close to that battleship. Can you guys drop your torps aggressively? That'd be nice. Drop your torpedoes. There we go. There's some torpedoes against the Apostol Pavel. Ooh, there's a spicy torpedo coming out of the, I guess, rear. This is definitely turning into the massacre that was the Battle of Tsushima. Looks like the Mikaho and the Ki are kind of out of line there, I guess. Oh well, back over to UAI. Just because this is a lot of stuff. We are losing some torpedo boats, but hey, that was actually historically accurate. They lost 2 torpedo boats, so really, you know, we're doing the historical accuracy. We are looking to lose a heavy cruiser in the form of the Korobagoro, but whatever. That's pretty much my response, is whatever. I wish that my shooting information wasn't failing me. There's the Azov. Now the Azov is pretty much just sat here taking, look at that, hundreds of hits, 310 hits. And it's actually dealt a ton of damage from just 12 shots. But that's a torpedo in there. What kind of bulkheads do they have? Few, okay. Alright, fair enough. Oh, what's going on here? I guess our cruiser groups are deciding to cut in front of us, and that's causing all of my ships to go wonky, but that's okay. There goes the Azov. And there's the battleship Apostol Pavel. Did he take a torpedo? Yep, 2 torpedoes. Oh wow, that's bad for him. Let's see, we have the cruiser Profintern. He has 0 armor, of course. And it looks like we're definitely getting down into the ropes here. We've lost, what, 2 torpedo boats so far? Although we certainly have, you know, some torpedo boats here that are taking some damage, some here. Some heavy cruisers here, one there. I mean, we did outnumber the enemy, and we did have a slight... Ooh, ammo detonation on the Odori. That's not good. We did have a slight tech advantage, and we did have a slight light ship advantage. But I mean, it was just a couple ships here and there, as well as they had more battleships. Plus, you know, it's always a crapshoot with the AI on what actually becomes, I guess, chosen in their designs. Look at the amount of small level fire coming in from these cruisers. That's crazy. Let's turn this over to the AI just so we can watch for the last bit of the battle, because they're all messed up in their formation anyways. Whoa! Ammo detonation finishes off the crossbow. There he goes. It looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ships left on the side of the Russians. And I think we are closing in. We're going to give command to the AI so we can watch the show. We have the Volia still at full health, starting to take some attention here. He's got 99% structural. Here's the Abrek. The Abrek is sunk due to flooding. He might have taken a torpedo. Nope, just a bunch of 6-inch guns. Now the Volia is definitely blocking some shots. And he's definitely dishing out some damage. 47 shots, 2.4k. 73, the Mikasa has done 2.2 damage. 2.7, the Mika only got 780. Wow. Volia here. Backed up by the Rosesto Cristovo and the Varna also at high health. Oh boy. Here comes the light cruiser Soya. He does have torpedoes. I wonder if he launched them. Yep, looks like he launched them over there in the direction of the Cristovo. Oh! Look at that tower go. For the turret. Right into the sea. That was a flash fire. Oh wow. Oh wow, that was horrifying. There's the Admiral Istomin, which is very much on fire and about to flood. He might have taken... Oh, there's a torpedo. There's a torpedo. It looks like it hit it amidships. I thought it would have hit it in the stern. He is flooding. These frontal compartments are there. There's the fire set. Oh, that was a big hit there. Oh, I guess it is the stern. Never mind. Those bottom 4 compartments are flooded, but I mean, yeah. Looks like his turret is majorly damaged. Could be disabled. He's just taking shell after shell. The Varna is still okay. The Blago Poluchoye is doing okay as well. Alright, we have Rosesto Cristovo. He's doing okay. He's repairing his engines as much as he can. Oh man. This is going rather well for the Japanese fleet. Alright, that's been coming. He's certainly still firing. There is some torpedoes coming in. Those are going to be pretty accurate as he's barely moving. I don't know if he even is moving. So, not a good time for him. Let's see if these torpedoes do hit. The Varna sending some... have torpedoes. There's got to be like a cruiser over there or something. That's weird. Yep, there's the torpedoes. I think he ate... Yep, 2 torpedoes. He ate them. And there he goes. That was just too much flooding for him. I'm really confused as to where these torpedoes came from. Maybe it was my torpedo boat and they just missed. I think that must be the case. This torpedo boat, the Atori, I thought he died earlier. I don't know what he's trying to do here. He's gonna get messed up by these 3-inch guns. Look at that. 71. Yep, he's taking a bunch of hits. Yep. Now we do have a light cruiser all the way out here, the Mogami, which was actually a battleship in World War II. It was pretty close to the Yamato. He is closing in on the Blagapocheye. Oh, there's the Shimushu out here. Interesting. The Atori is, I guess, looking for a ram? I don't know. But here's where it gets interesting. The rest of my fleet is pretty far away. And they might be able to get so far out of range that I'm not really able to hurt them. And I don't really want that to happen because then we'll be sitting here for hours. So I'm hoping that I can kill them quicker rather than slower. We're not looking so hot on the accuracy right now, just because everybody's a little bit far away and some guys are just out of range. Oh, there's a flash fire. You can see the turret dipping into the water there. So all that's left is the battleship Varna. Yep. Now, a bunch of these battleships were considered Borodino classes. Now, Borodino was the battle that Napoleon fought in his invasion of Russia. It was a very bloody battle for both sides. And I'm wondering if this is the AI's recreation of a Borodino class. I have no idea what that looks like. So, I'm just hoping. He has some 12-inch gun turrets, 2 of them. So that's 4 barrels. He has one 5-inch gun. That looks like 6 2-inch or 2 barrel guns. And that's a lot of 3-inch casements. Like a lot. Oh wow. So we've sped it up some. We're just kind of seeing what happens here to the Varna as time goes on. There we go. We have a torpedo boat. We have a cruiser out here. And it looks like the cruisers, like the Sendai, oh, the Sendai has launched torpedoes. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of closing in and mopping up. We're going to see if these torpedoes hit. If they do, that will be a major hit on the Varna. It's looking like they might miss. Yep, looks like they're going to go right behind. Oh, he's detected them, and I think he's going to take one. Yep, he took one, which damaged his engines and his rudder. Which means he is a sitting duck for any more torpedoes, as well as that gives the rest of the fleet a chance to finally catch up. Now I don't really know where my battleships are going. They're kind of all over the place. I don't know. The AI does some special things in this game, but at least it works. The Varna is now on fire. Oh wow! That single torpedo took out this entire lower deck. They are trying to repair their engines. Whoa. Oh, the Sendai just got set on fire. Okay. He is doing some flooding control. You can see that these 2 compartments are being pumped, which is good. Oh, there's more torpedoes. I believe that may be from the Sendai or the Yep, no, it's got to be from the Sendai. Those look like they're going to miss. Those definitely look like they're going to miss. Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good. Alrighty, well, you know, ooh, the Sendai got hit pretty bad, and he's got some flooding in the front. Alright, so some of our cruisers are catching up. We do have some torpedo boats. Oh, and there goes the Varna. Well, thank you everybody for joining me on this kind of trying to recreate historical Battle of Tsushima. It definitely was pretty historically accurate. We only lost 2 torpedo boats and we absolutely crushed the Russian fleet. So yeah, thank you guys again for joining me. Please leave a like and maybe a subscription if you are enjoying the videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.